Commission meeting for September of 2025. Just as a moment before we do our Pledge of Allegiance, which is part of our process in beginning these procedures. This is September 11th, and I think everyone in the room knew that when they woke up this morning and gave some somber thought to what happened 24 years ago and where we were when it happened. If we are of that age, I think it looks like most of us are, except Nico. I don't believe Nico was. I don't think he was around yet. But on a serious, very serious note, this is a most important day. Also, losing somebody who was so significant to the younger generations. Being a septuagenarian, everything's younger for me. But Charlie Kirk was an icon to young folks in the 20s, 30s, and like myself in the 70s. And we lost him yesterday. And who would have ever thought that an event the day before 9/11 could overshadow what happened 24 years ago? But it did today, and it'll probably be with us for quite a while. Like 9/11 has been with us, but we never forget. So let's think about that and never forget and do our pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks. Okay. Our next step is our roll call, and
we're going to have to take that on ourselves today, Bob.
we're all right, we can do that. Robert Sacco, here. Barry Miller.
Yeah, here.
Ron Jaski.
Here.
Peter Thomas.
Here.
John Chaplin.
Here.
Lisa Hall.
Here.
Gary Robb. Here. All right, very good. It looks like the band is all here. Approval of our agenda. I understand we might get a motion to do some kind of change around.
Yeah, if I may, one of the petitioners, let me look it up, I'm sorry. Michelangelo Retail Center has requested to be moved to the beginning of new business 7. If we could relabel that as 7A1,
Okay.
and leave the rest of the numbers the same. He's looking to move this to a future meeting, so instead of having him wait till later in the meeting to do so, we'd like to
Okay, Barry.
start that off that way.
Can we get a second on Barry's motion?
Support.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, agenda's been moved in a way that'll accommodate the applicant. Approval of the minutes from our last meeting?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We had some correspondence, and kinder, nicer words have never been spoken, but when it comes to Abigail Jacobson, there is an unlimited amount of good words and platitudes that can be said. But the correspondence is quite brief and simple, and planning commissioners, if you have anything to add after I say this, please feel free. Abby Jacobson, we want to express our sincere gratitude for your many dedicated years of service, not only on the Planning Commission, but as a trustee and a member of a lot of committees through the years for our Washington Township. Your commitment, Abby, and contributions have been priceless and invaluable, and we truly appreciate beyond what any of us would know, all that you have done and what you have meant to the township government, not to mention the township itself. We are wishing you all the best. Commissioners, anything else you'd like to add?
Abby made a difference, that's for sure.
That's no question.
When I came on this planning commission 14 years or 15 years ago, she kind of like took me under her wing, and boy, what a lady. She knew more than I could ever hope to. And her heart was always with the township and the agro and the farmers and all the rest of that sort of thing. all the time I ever knew her, even till now. So we're going to miss her, that's for doggone sure, although we have good replacements. No one is ever, replaceable. So thank you, Abby.
Yeah, the years of experience are invaluable, and I learned a lot from Abby once I started. I truly will miss her. Obviously, we know where she's at, so I do see her quite often as my kids can't pass her donut stand. Every time I drive by, they're looking to see if their name's on the sign, as if it's an excuse to stop. But yeah, we'll see her around.
Folks, anyone else?
I just want to thank Abby. For the years of service and for the help she's given me personally. It's amazing to see somebody with that type of history with the township that has been involved in it as long as she has. It's a testament to what we should all aspire to for community service. So, Abby, wherever you're at right now, thank you for all your years of service, both here and on the board, and to the community in general with what you do. It's appreciated more, I think, than you know.
Thank you, John. I think that any one of us and anyone who knows Abby would agree with all that we've said. When I thought Ronnie was going to steal my comment, when I first came on, just moments after Ron did, about 15 years ago, Abby was my bright line. I watched her, and really I followed her lead as a planning commissioner. I watched her closely, and no one made motions better than Abby, and none were more thorough, because she took copious notes throughout the proceeding.
Yeah.
And they all came out into the motion that she made. And rarely did we ever, that I ever can recall, need to add anything to her motion. She is a dedicated person to Washington Township. And of course, the roots of Westview Orchard go deep. 1813 is the establishment, which is before we had a Washington Township. So that's the importance of her presence during all this time. And we definitely are going to miss Abby anytime she's not part of our government here in Washington Township. But as someone said up here, we know where she is. So, and she's working hard. We know that too. Thank you, Abby. Well, Gary, after all that we said, you don't want to leave now, do you? All right. We want to welcome Gary Robb. He's our newly appointed Planning Commission member, longtime township resident. The commentary that Supervisor Sam wrote about you, I thought you were running for president, and he was your man to back you. But you have a very, very solid, sturdy, and Washington Township relevant resume. And that's something that we will appreciate here. I'm sure you're going to empower us with your viewpoints. We'll try to do that for you, but welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we've got our minutes approved, and we did our correspondence. Now we're going to go to public comment on non-agenda related items, and this is an opportunity for anyone in the audience, if you have something you'd like to tell us or say, it's not related to the agenda, the podium's there, feel free. Okay, yes, we do have someone. We have a taker.
How's everybody doing? My name is Chris Judich, 14,031 Mile Road. I just want to first of all thank you guys, for doing a great job. I don't want to come in here bashing anybody. However, I would just like to ask the board if they can reconsider possibly the master plan, particularly for the sector between Van Dyke and Powell, 30 miles to 32 miles, that whole corridor right there. I just kind of see what's happening, which is exactly what happened in the previous township I grew up in. It started all farmland, became quickly, populated, and that's kind of why I hightailed it out of there. And so I just kind of see it as if you allow all these multifamily and homes, condos to come into this area, you're going to really change the landscape of this whole township, particularly that area. And I just really see it as turning into, the whole Sam's Club corridor, if you're familiar with it, in Shelby Township. So if you can reconsider, the board to change possibly the zoning criteria to allow less density for homes. I mean, we need homes, that's understandable. But at the rate it's going, once you open the floodgates, it's not going to stop. You're going to go from, 200 homes to another 200, another 300, and that whole area will just become not what, I moved out here for, as well as other people that I talked to in the neighborhood. So if you guys can reconsider that, I'd appreciate it. Not to mention the traffic issues that it will cause, because if you are familiar with the soccer complex, whenever there's a tournament, you have police presence there just to direct traffic. So I can only imagine what it'll be like when you start piling on, 300 homes, 600 homes, and throw a soccer tournament in the mix. I mean, it's just doesn't seem like it's a great fit for there. So I would just like the board to reconsider that.
All right,
And that's about it.
don't,
Thanks, Chris.
good comment. Believe it or not, we are constantly looking at ordinances. Just ask Kayla, she'll tell you. She is the one who does the yeoman's work on that, and we do constantly look at them. So your request is well received. Anyone else? Okay, new business we have on our agenda, and we have item A. This is
A1, we'll call it A1, we're going to move up Michelangelo.
A1, thank you, Chair Bear. A1, Michelangelo's plan, and that was for Michelangelo Retail Center. We moved, that's a site plan review on Van Dyke, parcels 240414, 100, 010. It's the east side of Van Dyke and the south side, south of 30 Mile Road. I think it's right next to Heidelberg. Mr. Magnoli, are you here to address the situation?
Yes, sir, I am. Mike Magnoli, Michelangelo Construction Company. I've got my son,
Sorry.
Santino.
Santino Magnoli, Michelangelo Construction.
Good evening, Ben Aloya, legal counsel for Michelangelo Construction. And we have John DeLisla, our engineer, who's hooking up his computer so he can
Okay,
show his design. This is the 1 acre vacant parcel just south, right on Van Dyke. In front of, there's an apartments, and behind the apartments, there is a storage unit. So we're trying to acquire that first acre up front.
right next to Heidelberg.
Yes.
Okay,
So John can give you.
comes the engineer. Counselor, were we going to do a postponement on this? Because that's why we moved this up on the
Yeah.
agenda.
We were informed by the planner this was going to be postponed.
I don't know anything about that. No, we didn't intend on that.
Oh,
Because,
we moved it up for the
we're-
intention of postponement per Dana because there was a lot of missing information on the plans.
Well, and we're here to clear that up. The information was Kayla's comment on that easement on the south side, which Mr. Aloy will explain that for the access. But if we could go over all this, if you'd like us to.
I think we should reset the agenda back to what it was, only to be fair to the other applicants.
That's
if
fine with
the
me.
case.
You can certainly do that.
I'd like to move to reset the agenda to its original status then. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
We moved you up above 5 other people because we were told it was going to be a postponement, not a presentation. I'm sorry.
Well, that was,
Yeah, that's the
I'm
first
sorry,
time.
Barry, if I could jump in for just, based on the comments from the staff, there were a lot of things that needed to be amended.
A lot.
And I know you guys are probably prepared to address a lot of that now, but we can't make a decision on it even now unless that's included in the materials that we receive. So
Yeah,
you guys will need to amend everything and resubmit the amended document so we could make a decision. So even if you did present tonight with all of the changes, we still wouldn't be able to make a decision.
I mean, your elevation showed a 5-unit building, your floor plan showed a 3-unit building. It didn't even match.
The
So,
elevation was just concept.
Right.
Well, I hear you.
Well, that's-
We want to
It's
see a
just-
finished
I mean,
product when we
it's
come
just
here.
we're on such a tight time constraint with the
All right,
celebration.
well, we'll put the agenda back the way it was, and we'll hear it out when it comes up then. I make the motion, we move the agenda back to where it was, and we start with 7A.
Support.
All
All in favor? Aye.
right, sorry.
Even the crowd agrees. All right. Oh, audience, excuse me, you're not a crowd. Okay, now we're back to the original agenda. It's
All righty then.
all right, Chair Bear. One thing I have to ask, I'll ask our officials here. We have, this is set up for public hearing, but I have
they're
no
gonna present
public
later.
hearing notice
We're just moving them back down.
printed on my, my attachments, download. Just so just wanted to verify this is a public hearing and the notice was sent out properly. That's all.
I don't think we have anybody from staff to, would you be involved in that, or no?
I'm not in the noticing. Let me look at what's online on the agenda packet here, but yes, this is a special land use. Did you
Okay.
see the?
Well, in the meantime, we can announce that the new business under letter A is Big Red Orchard Holdings LLC, public hearing. Special land use section 4.5 agricultural tourism, small scale entertainment, 4932 Mile Road, parcel 240405 100-044. Do we have applicants here from the Miller Big Red?
Or the Big Red.
It's just Big Red Orchard now, but yeah, Robert
Oh,
Masevich
wait.
from Big Red Orchard.
And
What?
Tricia Masevich from Big Red Orchard.
My Notre Dame alum. All right. We lost Miller. Miller's gone. It's just Big Red.
It's just Big Red now.
I didn't realize that. Okay, Rob, you warming up that laptop?
Yep.
Okay.
So you guys all got the submission from us, but I took a drone shot and kind of outlined the special land use request for the small scale entertainment. In the green section there, that's the green space that we do a lot of our agritourism activities. The fall activities go on there right now. They'll be going on there till November. Adding the small scale entertainment land use would allow us to do our night markets that we do, which we come to pre-planning commission meetings, and we'll sit in front of the board and explain what we're doing. They entail having food vendors, different local vendors, craftsmen, artisans, and we'll typically do a live band in the pavilion.
Rob, do you do that for every event, or do you do it by the month?
No, so this year we only did one, because the
That's
event
right.
center is booking out. We have weddings, corporate events, and whatnot. So we
Yeah.
only did one this year. Last year we did 6.
Okay.
So you're talking at most once a month in the warmer months that we'd be doing this,
Okay.
and realistically less than one time per month.
Okay, so you come to the monthly pre-planning and present, we're going to have 2, we're going to have 3, here are the dates, and
Yep, and here's what we're doing, and then,
pre-planning committee says yea or nay.
yep, exactly.
All right.
So we came today with this agenda item and also the small edition, so we were doing both today. But we just wanted to see if we can get this on the books to not come back every year and go through the pre-planning meetings to get the permission to do the small-scale entertainment events.
Okay.
So that's what we're here for today.
With regard to the small-scale events, like, what would be the largest small-scale event you would be hosting?
It's typically what we're talking about is our night markets that we've done. So this year we did one on end of June, I can't remember, from 5 to 10 p.m. in our green space. Less traffic than orchard season, so still fairly busy, but still less traffic than orchard season.
Probably a couple hundred people rotating in and out when it opens up at 5 and closes around 10, 10:30, and then it's hard stop by 11. The bands are done by 10:30, just because there's the noise ordinance, and we can't be doing anything outside after 11 PM. So we're respectful of that, you know, we follow all the ordinances and whatnot when we do that. So it's more or less a neighborhood block party. You know, community event, a lot of families come out, they're getting food, they're listening to the bands, you know, it's just a good time.
Okay, Rob, very good.
Some of the concerns, oh, I'm
Go ahead,
sorry.
Peter.
Some of the concerns that we've been hearing about is about noise. And, you know, how do you intend on addressing that?
So with the noise ordinance in the state and the other 7 events that we've had no complaints from neighbors calling and saying the noise is too loud. The band is not blaring to where you're hearing it, you know, miles away or anything like that. Apparently the definition of the noise ordinance violation would be running a lawnmower at your property line that's too loud. So, I mean, we're not standing with a decibel meter on the property lines checking it out, you know. We're making sure the band is not blaring the music. And in the pavilion, the band's always in the back and the speakers are pointing forward at these trees. So that eats up some of the sound. You do get obviously reverberation around the site, but from any of the audience members that would be neighbors, they can attest if they've heard a nuisance sound coming from our place when we're doing these night markets.
And I would also say it's probably fair to assess really truly what the decibel is, because it depends on what device you're using, temperature of the day, wind speed, what part of the property you're standing on, so where are you taking the sound from and where is it coming from? You know, so there's a lot of factors that go into that as well, so I guess it would depend where you're asking. But like you said, even then a lawnmower breaks your current ordinance, so.
Okay. Staff, you did some great review for us. Did you have anything you want to add to Michael, Kayla, anything you would add before we go to a public hearing?
The only thing from our review for the Planning Commission to consider is along the east property line where the special entertainment, or small-scale entertainment special land use is proposed. It is adjacent to land that's zoned for single-family. The Planning Commission has the ability to decide whether landscaping is required along that shared property line for that extent of the small-scale entertainment use. And, you know, you're able to waive the landscaping on a finding that it's not going to produce any more noise than already exists at the site, that it doesn't have impacts really on those adjacent properties. So just consider that as you're making your decision. You would just need to make a motion to that effect if you're anticipating waiving the landscaping.
Okay. Thank you. Christine, did you have anything?
Not specifically on the submission, but just to remind the planning commission that special land uses are special because they have the possibility of adverse impacts on the neighbors. And any motion you make with respect to a special land use should be very specific as to what you're allowing. And you need to make a specific finding affirmatively as to all the 8 standards.
Okay. The big 8. President Mike?
There were really no engineering issues. Our only recommendation was that the site plan that had been submitted with this package was from older improvements when they made parking lot improvements. And it didn't really note the building change that was being made, so we just recommend that some minor change be made to that plan and submitted if approved, so that 5 years down the line, there's a record of what was actually approved, because that plan doesn't really reflect it on the site plan.
Okay, very good. All right, commissioners, if you want to ask questions of the applicants or go to the public hearing, we can do one or the other.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. Just how many events did you say you're planning on doing on an annual basis?
Last year was about 6, and then this year was 1.
Okay.
Due to the other events we have, and I'm be honest, it's probably on the lower end, just due to weddings and other things we have going on in the event center.
Right. You know, and outdoor events are always tricky. I mean, there's always going to be the concern about noise and, you know, how, you know all the things that we're gonna say. And you know, I know you guys just built the event center out there recently, and I hope that's going good for you. And you've got a lot going on, and you're growing, and I like to see that. But I'm also, you know, trying to err on the side of caution also. I understand that the special land use would make it more convenient for you to do these without having to come back and ask for permission per event. But I'm also worried that we give you the keys to the kingdom. Basically, it's carte blanche to hold any type of small-scale entertainment event as many times a year as you want. So it could go from 6 to, 365 ostensibly, and we wouldn't have any say in that. I don't expect you to do that, but those are things we have to consider when we're looking at something like this. And I'm tending to lean towards denial, honestly, because it's so few events. If it were something that were happening more, you may have a stronger argument. But what I would like to do, at least with you guys and the planner, is sit down and have that discussion about a special land use, because as our attorney said, if we're going to give you a special land use, we're going to want to condition it in certain ways. And we really haven't dug into what you guys want to do and what conditions would be appropriate. We don't want to put a bunch of conditions in that we don't need, or things that would prevent you guys from doing it in a 5-minute discussion here at the table. I think that's a longer discussion that I think we'd be willing to have with you about a special land use. But I just, I don't think we're there yet.
This commission has always been pro-agritourism.
Absolutely.
And, with all the development going on, there's just not much green space anymore. I think it's very difficult for farmers to make money just by farming, and they have to find some other means for revenue. And, it's kind of a catch-22, that this commission wants the green space, the farm, and then we want to limit them as to how they can earn revenue. So, I'm torn as well, but to me, again, it's something this commission has always supported. So
I agree. I agree with you, Pete. I had a question for council. If we were to say we set limits, obviously with a special land use, the commission has the right to offer up limitations or conditions
On
of
the
the
use,
approval. If we were to say we said up to 6 events a year, and they start doing it and realize, we'd like to do 10. Is it something they could come back to this commission and propose to go more, or would they have to go to pre-planning and ask for more on their individual event? Can they go to pre-planning and get a approval like they're doing right now to host more than what the special use had allowed?
In my opinion, no. They would need to amend their special land use and come back here.
So they could come back here and amend their special
Absolutely.
land use. Things are going well, we're not getting complaints, so it could be something that we start off small and that could grow over time if necessary.
Absolutely, they can come back for amendment.
Okay.
One item to note really quick, the applicant has volunteered a condition on this application, and that being that they don't hold any of these special land use events during a time when they have another event in a venue. So that helps to limit some of the traffic and noise on that site. So whatever motion you make, I would recommend including that in there as well.
would the applicant be willing to put some landscaping along the east side? Some trees or something to help with the noise?
For the future development.
I guess on the potential future development, the hard part about this is the least intense use of our property. So agritourism in general for the 2 months, September, October, when you have hundreds of people in that green space enjoying themselves, that's going on, and they would be a nuisance to a neighbor. Like, I don't want to hear those people talking and whatever's going on, if they're playing basketball or on Straw Mountain screaming, having a good time. Or, if we were to bring back the haunted hay rides, those go to 11 o'clock at night. That's an approved use of this land, and this has previously occurred in the land. It's one of those things, putting up trees on the property line it's not going to stop. I mean, we're not creating a nuisance with these events. So to offer up some trees is not going to solve the problem of a potential development and the neighbor not liking us. Because soon it's going to be the tractors are running too early. The tractors are running too late. What are they spraying? I don't like the smell. They're running beef. They're running pork. They're running chickens. I don't like what they're doing.
Well, I mean, the law, the legal system also has provisions in it that
Correct,
protect
yes.
that.
And we are
Right.
protected.
It's coming to the nuisance. If you move next door to agritourism, you came to the nuisance, so to speak. So you're protected in those rights anyway. Yeah,
We
And
are,
do you have the exacts, because there is that pond there as well, so I can't tell you exactly
We
how
do.
much actual grass space between the pine trees that are on the far south of that east corner, in the green, and the pond. We're talking maybe
yeah, so actually
30, 40 feet of space.
the blue line I drew is not accurate of the property line. The property line is closer, the pond's shared by us and our neighbor. So the trees would have to go in front of the pond if we did put trees there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what trees would necessarily offer anybody, in which a development of that nature would be a very nice development in which they're going to have landscape plans of their own to deal with what they're looking at.
All right. Commissioners, maybe a public hearing would be good to have right now. Let's, all
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
right, thank you, Peter.
I'll second that.
Got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this public hearing is now going to be conducted for the Big Red Orchard Holdings for a special land use, section 4.5 agricultural tourism, small scale entertainment, 4932 Mile Road, parcel 240405, 100,044. We welcome now any public commentary. We do have a letter that we are going to read that we have received, but, no?
Mr. Chairman, you don't need to read the whole letter out loud. You can just make a motion to receive and file.
Oh, all right.
All the planning commission members have it.
Oh, very good. I'd like to make a motion to admit the letter from D'Agostini Company, signed by Eugene D'Agostini, and we all have that, concerning Miller 32 Mile Road LLC.
Support.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, it's so admitted. And our applicants will have a chance to respond to that. Do you have that letter?
Yes, we have a copy.
Okay, very good. All right, anyone who has something to say here, the podium is yours, public. We do have a taker.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Eugene D'Agostini. I am the author of the letter that you have in the file. First of all, I'm reluctant to, as a developer, as a builder, I'm reluctant to bring objection to anybody's intent.
Understood.
However, we have a parcel adjacent to this property that's roughly 35 acres in size that we are in the process of doing design for submission of a single-family residential subdivision that'll have 2-acre lots. The homes that we expect to be built on this site, our development, the homes will probably be in excess of $1 million, up to $3 million in value. So we are very concerned about the impact of the proposed changes in the Big Red development and how it's going to affect us. And yes, indeed, the lady mentioned that, you know, a lawnmower could be offensive. Well, a lawnmower running during the day is probably not offensive, but a lawnmower running at 11 o'clock at night, or 250 people in your backyard at 11 o'clock at night, will certainly be offensive. So it's all in context. The problem that we have here is your ordinance, Section 45, requires that agricultural tourism use be compatible with surrounding properties and support local farming. The proposed expansion into multi-use events goes well beyond the purpose. Allowing the use of R1 district undermines the quiet enjoyment and privacy of the adjoining properties. You're talking about having up to 250 people, maybe more, on in someone's backyard, because if you look at the blue line that designated roughly the property line, I mean, literally, this activity, and by the way, this activity is proposed in what is now a buffer area, but this activity would be going on at night with a band, potentially, and within a couple of 100 feet of someone's house. I mean, if that's not offensive, I don't know what is. Article 4 requires that special land use project adjacent to properties from, protect properties from adverse impact and be harmonious with surrounding areas. That's the ordinance. The problem we have here is, had the applicant maybe placed this use somewhere else on the property, it probably wouldn't have been so offensive. But it literally is in the backyards of our proposed development, you know, and that's why we have to object. This proposed area is, as I mentioned before, is an existing buffer from the Big Red operation, and we're now, in effect, eliminating it. So, the other thing that's slowly but surely occurring, folks, is that this agro-tourism operation is now becoming a commercial operation. He's got an enclosed venue that he uses for catering, and it's becoming a year-round, not a seasonal, and really not an agro-tourism use. It's morphing, and that's troublesome for me. So as much as I hate to object, this has extreme adverse impact on our development, proposed development, and the agricultural or the residential use that this property and our property is subject to. So thank you very much. Appreciate your consideration.
All right, thank you, Tim. Okay, is there anyone else here from the?
Can we respond to that?
When the public's all
Let the
finished.
public.
When they're all done, folks.
Hi, name's Harold Basto. I live to the west of Big Red, and I've been in Washington since 2012. So I've seen, you know, Washington, Van Dyke, Mound, Jewel turn into sub after sub after sub, and I get where he wants to cram a bunch of more residents onto just some lot that they were able to find. So I was relieved a few years ago when they purchased it because the orchard was going downhill, deteriorating. And you guys let the zoning remain as is, so he couldn't go quarter to 2 acre lots or whatever they were trying to do and cram in like 70 houses or whatever they were trying to do, because that's basically why I moved out there. Because I see, you know, I get a nice view. I don't have a sub with house after house after house crammed in. And I don't think being at those, being at a couple of those events last year, it's like a cycle of people coming and going, mostly families, just enjoying being out, getting some fresh air, spending time, supporting the, all the people with their tents, you know, selling product, all the local vendors. So if this is something that's going to be a once in a while, let's get more involvement for the community, then I'm all for it. I've never ran into excess traffic, excess noise, and it's just been a godsend that place is there, and I want to encourage that they have every opportunity to continue and thrive. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Harold.
Thank you.
Okay, who's next?
Hi, my name is John Wojcik. I live on Hillside Lane. Actually, the map that they just showed, you could see my backyard. And whatever they're doing there, there isn't noise that we hear when we have our door walls open. I mean, you hear it during the day, lawnmowers and stuff like that, but you don't hear any partying, any craziness going on. I mean, it's just not as loud as maybe some people think it is. I'm not sure about the development, but maybe there's something that could be done that both parties can agree upon. But Trish and Rob have done nothing but top shelf everything in that whole orchard. If you guys go and visit it, they've made it a destination to come and look at, to spend some time. It's a really nice place.
Okay, thank you, John. Anyone else here?
Good evening. Daniel Schick, 4801 32 Mile. That cursor's in the middle of my property line right now. My driveway is directly across the street from Big Red. Last summer, my family and I attended just about every one of these events because they were awesome. We could walk across the street. My kids can get sugared up, and I can get a cold beer. It's like really nice. It's not late. It's not overly loud. It's not obnoxious. They've done a fantastic job bringing that to life. When I moved in there 3 years ago, the smell of marijuana just pouring into my yard from being grown across the street was terrible. They're great neighbors. It is a community event, and the new neighbors in their $1 to $3 million homes are going to love it. They've done a great job.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
Good evening, Vince Sorrentino. I happen to own the property that is right on Lake Cusick. As Mr. Gene D'Agostini had mentioned, we're in the process of developing that property for large estate-size homes. This particular business here, I've been to it. It's a beautiful operation. I'm glad to see that it's been rectified and restored. So I commend them for that, and I think it can add a great value to the homes that will be put in over there. However, you have to understand when you're expressing doing something of this nature, we're talking about entertainment. What is that entertainment going to consist of, and the time frame of that, and I guess the noise, as we mentioned, everybody has different levels of noise and sound, but our concern is, does it get impacted with large crowds where it can get rowdiness and it turns into a detriment to our development when you're selling $2.5–3 million homes, and to keep that integrity there. The establishment certainly seems to be doing that with the regular operation, which is the knowing what was over there prior, the fall operation. But the concern is really when you start thinking of this, if it expands and it becomes popular, does it turn into a not necessarily a Freedom Hill, but something that it becomes a large venue, a lot of traffic, a lot of people coming to check this out, and that was one of the reasons where we, if you look back at the minutes back in I think fall of '22, we got shot down for having more lots than what we thought we were going to have, and that was due to the fact that the traffic. People complained, well, there's going to be a lot of traffic. We were only, I think, looking at about 25 homes at that time between both parcels. Now maybe we're at 12. And it was the traffic is going to increase. It's going to be a serious issue. This certainly seems like that would trump that many times over. So that is my concern as the developer and the person that's putting a good deal of money into this is to have some restrictions and to know what that is going to be and have it defined well. But this isn't anything speaking ill of the operations. Again, it's a wonderful operation, and I'm glad that it's been restored. But that is essentially our concern, and hopefully the board can understand that when you're in this position that we are in. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Okay, anyone else?
Hi, everyone. I'm Cheryl Manchester. I also live on Hillside Lane, right directly across the street from John, who was up here earlier. Just a few things that I want to say, especially to the developers. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. So all this speculation about this becoming some sort of mob mentality event space is, I think, unwarranted. We bought our property and built our home on Hillside Lane 23 years ago, knowing that we would have this beautiful farm in our front yard. And we love it. And like others have said before, we've been to the events that Rob and Trish are talking about, and it's not crazy. These are family events. The band is tucked underneath the pavilion, which I'm sure has been there much longer than y'all have owned your property. The pavilion where it sits, right there, the band is tucked under. It's a small band on a stage. We're not talking about Pine Knob at all. This is just a very nice family event.
So I'm not going to see Journey anytime soon?
Maybe like a impersonation of Journey, but anyway, where that green space is that Rob outlined, that's always been the activity space. Like I said, we've lived there for 23 some odd years, and that's always been where all of that activity takes place. So we're not moving it over there, or, you know, I shouldn't say we, Rob and Trish are not moving it over there. It has existed long before these ideas of what should happen on the property next door have happened. So, so the noise has never been an issue for us, and I would say, in my opinion, this might come off a little rude, but I think the developments have more of an adverse impact on my neighborhood than this farm is going to have on yours. So I just want to go ahead and let that be said.
Thank you.
It is a rural area in this township. Let's try to keep it that way.
All right, Cheryl. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. I'm Marlene Waskevich, and I live at 68643 Hillside Lane. Lived there for 35 years. We bought because of the orchard. I mean, it's beautiful. It's so rural and breathtaking. And at night, back when Miller's Big Red used to own it, Miller's, we would leave our windows open at night during in October when they had the haunted hay rides, because it was so cool to hear. You could barely hear like people screaming and the monsters yelling, and it was just, people would come over just to sit outside and listen to that. It was just unique. I've gone to the events that this couple with their family have put on, and they are family people, so they have their children there, and that's what it is. It's a community event. It's not even like, I couldn't even compare it to Westview or anything like that. They don't charge for everything. It's just a place for people to come and sit with their, sit with their family outside. It's people just enjoy coming there and sitting at the picnic tables. And the band are just, you know, they're not, you know, that good. But, you know, but it's just because I don't think they pay. I'm sorry. Well, right. I mean, you know, they're just, you know, mom and pop people. But anyway, and then, you know, I got to thinking, when I'm in the restaurant at the Orchard, I don't even think you can hear the band inside the Orchard. I mean, inside the restaurant. I mean, that's how it's not very loud. And anyway, I think that people that are going to buy those homes are going to buy them because of the Orchard. I'm telling you. everybody wants to come to our house all the time, you know, to go there. And we're so thankful that they took it over and made it what it is. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's a great place to take your family. So, good luck.
Thank you, Marlene.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone want to follow Marlene up? She took care of the talent. You all better upscale that talent. Okay. Okay. All right. We will, if you want to respond now, Robin, Tricia, you can.
You know, Mr. Chair, if I could just make one point of clarification before you guys jump in here.
Yeah.
Because I've been listening and to all the comments, and I want to make sure everybody understands what we're here tonight for. Nobody's asking them to stop doing what they're doing. What they're doing with these events is allowed, and it's perfectly fine under the zoning. Basically, what they're asking for is the manner in which they get permission from the township to do these. That's what we're here tonight to decide. It's not about whether or not we want to shut them down. We don't. We just, it's just a technical issue over, is it going to be a special land use that grants blanket permission, or are they going to have to come back and get permission on an individual basis? So, no one's asking them to stop doing what they're doing, and they're not doing anything wrong. It's just, it's more of a technical decision than that. Just wanted to clarify that for people that don't understand.
Agreed. Well put.
Okay. You had 7 comments, and go for it.
Okay, so I would like to point out again that the area that we're requesting the special land use in is the area that we already use for agritourism. We're not looking to expand it. We're not looking to add more. Agritourism is something not really well understood by the general public. I'd have to say prior to owning this farm, our other farm is completely 100% agricultural and closed to the public, and so it's a completely different aspect. But this one is open to the public, and I think it takes a greater understanding of truly what agritourism is. I would invite any of you to buy farmland and farm and let me know what it costs and what it takes to do that. Our plum orchard, which is located just east of the green, right there, we lost all the plums from that this spring due to a June 2nd frost. Therefore, we worked hard all year long pruning and cleaning up the area, getting the trees ready to go. A frost came in June 2nd, and we lost it. We lost all the buds. Therefore, we don't have any profit or income from that, but we put the expenditure out for it with nothing in return. I know it's easy to look at a picture like this and go, well, I see a blank lot right there, and there's one right there, and oh, you can just move it over there. That's fine. There's something called crop rotation, which is extremely important to the value of the land and good nutrients in soils so that your future produce produces better than previous years. A lot of what you see, we've planted over 2,000 trees since we started operating at the beginning of 2023. And we have an additional 1,200 on order that are coming next spring. Farming for us is not stopping. However, this is the state of Michigan. We are limited to a period of time to do so. However, that's why things like agritourism exist in the state. So it does allow you to support the farm and do things. One of the pillars of Rob and I owning this farm has been community and family, very family orientated. I'm not looking to have rap concerts outside. I'm not looking to go to the decibel to piss off the neighbors, excuse my language. I am a neighbor and I love my neighbors and I'd like to keep it that way. And I want the community to love me and not think of me as a nuisance with noise. So for the few events that we do, the few scale events we do a year, I don't believe that is going to impact the neighborhood in a negative way. However, with that being said as well, that building that was discussed by someone that was up here right here, that was not constructed by us. That was constructed in 2015, 2016. It was cinder blocks, steel beams, and a dirt floor. There were no windows. It sat that way until we purchased it and did something with it. If I could tell you the amount of birds that lived in that building, you would be disgusted by it. I'm surprised they finally left. And we had to do something with that building. And we thought, when you look out the back of those windows, I invite all of you to stop by to take a look and see out those back windows. It highlights why we bought this property. It's the rolling hills. You can see the plum orchard, our garden market, our market garden, our peach orchard, our brand-new trees that we just planted, our Evercrisps, amongst all the other trees. It highlights the beauty. We took something that was existing and made it something. And it helps us support the farm so the farm can keep farming. So I would like to point that out, that we've used what has been existing and made it better. We're not looking to go outside of that and turn it into Freedom Hill. This is a farm, and you can take my word for it, but it will stay a farm.
All right, Tricia, thank you.
And expanding on Trustee Chaplin's discussion about quantifying what we're doing here and the numbers, we're talking, we do 6 a year. That's 1 a month in the good months. We have no problem saying, hey, let's put a number on it. Because this is a very small subset. It's basically, hey, do we have anything going on in the event center? Which we came in front of this commission for, we got all the approvals for, we delivered on our promises, completed the building, passed C of O, and it's operational. So coming here to get the special land use for the small scale entertainment is basically for these small subsets of time when we have availability to offer a community event like our night market, and then it literally is a community event. So we would be more than willing to put a quantifiable number on that of how many we are allowed to do.
What's the number you would seek?
You want to say 8?
See, that's how you go. So with 6 now, no, kidding.
I'm just asking. I just want to know what.
I expect a negotiation on your end, so I'm starting at 8.
7 and 1/8.
12 would be just 2 hours.
2 hours on one day.
The noise ordinance right now is what, 10 o'clock, or is it?
11.
10 o'clock's 11.
It's 11.
But were there conditions, you said, somebody brought up conditions of 10:30 before, were there?
We put the
conditions
condition
set
on the
before?
band.
We did that.
So in case
Do that.
they go later,
You're
we're not
You're done
violating.
by 11,
They're done by 10:30, maybe 10:35.
but there's no question.
So all the
By 11, it's done.
So amplified music is off by 10:30?
It's off by 11 for sure. They think it's 10:30.
Okay.
They don't
So-
follow all the rules, so we're not violating an ordinance. We're
Right.
done by 11 p.m. We tell
You
the band they're
follow-
done
You're
at 10:30.
following the noise ordinance.
Yes.
With regard to what you're pursuing.
Because it's going to turn into, you say, okay, band's done at 11, then it's 11:15, and any neighbor could say, hey, they're playing music at 11:05. What's
Yeah.
going on? So.
Yes, Kayla?
Yeah, sorry, just to add for the commission, so small-scale entertainment is a special land use that's specific only for agritourism uses. So this is the only place where this special land use is allowed, this small-scale entertainment. There's a definition for it in our zoning ordinance that's also specific to the activities that can take place, the operating hours, and the amount of space, and maximum number of attendees. So this is for providing family-oriented entertainment only, such as singing, dancing, puppet shows, and informational presentations. So when you're thinking about what these activities include, that's what they're limited to. A general confined seating capacity of not more than 250 persons, but it's limited by how much seating they put out or how much actual open general assembly area there is. And then uses cannot be conducted between the hours of 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. So those things are already stipulated in the definition of the small-scale entertainment. Anything additional that you want to add related to how many events they can have, and also, again, that criteria about not hosting events when the event space is also being used, those are things the commission can add, but just wanted to note that there is a definition in place.
So the small-scale entertainment definition already sets a guideline with a maximum of 250 people at the event, which would prohibit or detour a Freedom Hill situation.
Journey's not going
Correct.
for 250 people.
And even though you'd be giving this special land use, if you grant it, they wouldn't have to come in for each of those events for the temporary use permit. They'd still have to come in for permits if they're going to do electrical or if they're going to put up a huge tent. Those things you'd still be regulating that have that bigger impact.
Anything required by code or ordinance that would require permits.
Correct.
So they're well controlled. The events are well controlled.
Correct. And emergency management, I believe they sent in a review letter as well. They can speak to those events that have taken place in the past, but wanted to let you know what exactly you're looking at here.
Kayla, did you write that?
Right.
Did you write the agritourism ordinance?
Oh, no, this proceeds, this would be your friend Abby. Abby was, yes. So this is many years
She was
ago.
a major player in this.
She was.
So I can see, yeah, with some stipulations on number of events and following those ordinances, I could see some way to work through this.
What, Christine, is there a way to set a number with an escalator clause to be able to go up to 8? Like set it at 6 and try it for a year and then it proceeds to 8 if we get no complaints?
I would not recommend that, no.
It's,
That would be very difficult to enforce.
It would be.
Commissioners, we can get off the public hearing now and ask questions.
motion to close public hearing?
Okay. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, fire away.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, Barry. And I'll go back to you, Chris. When we talked about that, if we set it at 6 or 7 or 8 and we want to amend that in the future, what's the process
They
for
would
that?
bring it back.
They would have to bring it back and it'd be going through the entire process again.
So we'd have to have another public hearing?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever we set, you're going to be stuck with until you come back for another hearing, if that's the way it goes.
Completely agree.
So I mean, we have basically what, you have 6 good months a year.
If you're lucky.
essentially.
If you're
If
lucky.
we have a good year.
Sometimes you get 7.
And potential for a couple extra events throughout the summer.
No events in November, December, January, February, March?
Are you coming?
No.
Hey, you know what? That is what it is.
So are you
Potential.
saying that
It
you're
could.
happy with the 6 events?
No,
Or you'd
8.
like to push it towards the 8? That's what I'm hearing.
I threw 8 out as a number, and I'd be more than happy, we'd be more than happy with 8.
Okay. 8?
And honestly, this special land use is literally filling we would look at our schedule for the actual event center and what we have booked in that, because that books out, like we're already booking into 2027 for weddings. So as that, we opened it in November of '24. That's when we even told anybody it was available. And we booked weddings in '25. We have '26. Now everybody's already into '27. So as that gets more booked up, there's less opportunity for small-scale entertainment events. And then you put showers in there or corporate parties or the other things within a 6-month window outside of your weddings. That would then eat up into any other potential availability to do a small-scale entertainment event. Because it is a community event, it is not a highly profitable event for the farm. It's a fun event for the farm and the community to come out to. So it is one of those things. It turns into a community event. You get families out there. You get local craftsmen, local businesses out there being able to promote their product. We get to promote our product, whatever we're harvesting from the farm will be at our booth. That highlights our bar and restaurant. So it literally is an adjunct in filling in kind of the gaps of where we have openings to be able to do things at the farm for the community and get people in the site.
One thing we all need to understand is agritourism is becoming a growing industry throughout our country, and that this allows farmers to diversify their income, especially in this day and age when equipment costs so much money, or you lose an orchard that you worked for months, and you're not recouping or recovering that. That additional income would hopefully keep your head above water, where you can continue what I call a quality of life. Not an experiment, but a living history, protecting, preserving the rural aspects of a community. Where development in water and sewer exists, this stuff is disappearing left and right. And what you're doing is a service to the community. I told you that from the beginning. And I've always believed that agritourism fits like hand in glove in our township right now, when we had oodles of orchards throughout our history here. And now we are down to a couple. And we don't want to lose them. Agritourism. This is something like a subdivision being built next to a high school, that land isn't being made anymore. And that quality of life cannot be defeated. It's something that we have to uphold. And this is something, agritourism, especially in our state of Michigan and in the Midwest, this is a very important deal. And yes, weddings, wineries, breweries, you name it, are being put into these places. So these farmers, these orchards, can exist when a crop fails, when something happens that they're not making it with their orchard. And maybe the economy goes down in a way where the you pick 'em isn't going as you'd like it to go. So I think you make a great case, and I've always liked Miller, Big Red. I've always liked your project, basically because of the quality of life agritourism provides, and you are family-oriented ownership, and you work hard. I don't know how you do it. That's not easy work. I know you're smiling, Trish, but that is very difficult. You're working the land, you're working harder than any of us. I'm not trying to, blow smoke here. So, as far as I'm concerned, I like what they have and I like their request.
Mr. Chair, if no one else has any comments on the commission, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, please do that.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the special land use based on the 8 standards. For the site plan and special land use request submitted under section 4.5 agricultural tourism, small-scale entertainment for Big Red Orchard Holding, LLC, at 4932 Mile Road, parcel 240405100-044. The decision is based on the following special land use standards. One, the proposed use shall be of such a location, size, and character that it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the surrounding neighborhood. I find that it meets that standard. Standard 2.
With all due respect, we need to say how it meets that standard.
It meets that standard because it is already existing with the area. The proposed use shall be of a nature that will make vehicle traffic, pedestrian traffic no more hazardous than is normal for the district involved, taking into consideration vehicle turning movements in relation to routes of traffic flow, proximity in relationship to intersections, adequacy of site distance, location, and access of off-street parking, and provisions, pedestrians, traffic, in particular attention to minimize pedestrian vehicle conflicts. It already meets that requirement because they're in existence now. The proposed, do I have to read each one complete?
No, you do not have to read each standard, we just
Okay.
need to say how each standard is met.
Okay, so the proposed use shall be designed as to the location, size, and intensity and site layout and periods of operation of such proposed use to eliminate any possible nuisances. Well, you've already met that requirement because you've been in existence and you have been following the ordinances. The proposed use shall be such that proposed location and height of building or structures and locations, nature and height of walls, fences, and landscaping will not interfere or discourage appropriate development. Well, again, you're existing. You've been there for 100 years, so that meets that standard. The proposed use shall relate harmoniously with the physical and economic aspect of adjacent land uses in regards to prevailing shopping habits. I find you meet that standard by, again, being in existence. Proposed use shall be necessary for public convenience at the proposed location, which, again, I feel you folks being in business, you meet that standard. Is that on 7?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on 8 now?
You're on 7.
No,
No,
number
on
seven, on number
okay.
7.
Okay, the proposed use shall designate, I'm sorry, the proposed use is so designated to located, planned, and operated so that the public health, safety, welfare will be protected. And again, you've been in existence, and you have proven that you've already have achieved that. And finally, the proposed use shall not cause substantial injury to the value of other property in the vicinity in which it is to be located, and will not be detrimental to existing or other permitted land use in zoning district. I heard many neighbors get up and speak in support of your special land use.
Okay, we have 2 other items that have to be on that motion, Sir Peter. One is the number.
8 events.
8 events would be allowed at this point in time. Kayla, what was the other item you mentioned?
The planning commission, if they want to waive that landscaping along the east property line, they would need to motion that as well.
Okay. Motion.
You good? Then I'll make the motion to waive the landscaping on the east property line as well.
Second.
And the reason for that would be?
It's not necessary because
You have excess landscaping on the site as it sits.
well put, thank you.
Thank you. I'll second that.
Do we need to
Part of it.
include the
Yeah.
condition that they had offered up also with the non-concurrent events?
Yes, yep, I would recommend that.
And we'd like, yes,
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you.
non-concurrent events, I would second that motion as a whole. Just one thing to clarify, neighboring properties being built next to the use that they're proposing, albeit 8 times a year, is no different than events that they have hosted in the past with regard to Halloween and screaming, and the neighbors spoke to that. I live south of that, and I have never heard a thing from any of your events. And let's face it, we all live out there, and sound carries. I can hear things that happen a mile away where I live in the country. That's part of being out there that's
Well, we can
part
have
that
the
I
gun
love.
range on
The
point.
gun
It
club.
doesn't bother
Yeah,
us.
the gun
Hear
club's
the
a
gun-
mile south of me, and I can hear that like it's in my backyard.
Yeah.
You hear noise, it carries. I've never heard an event you've had there, and I'm just south of you. But, I think it's gonna be a good use for the property.
You second the motion?
I did second it.
Larry,
yes.
all right. Let's do a roll call. We can't do the all in favor here. We got to go by the people. Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Jaski,
Yes.
Mr. Chaplin,
Yes.
Dr. Hall,
Yes.
and my friend, Gary Robb.
Yes.
Chair Sacco, yes. You're all set on that.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Over on to the second half.
Don't go anywhere.
We got second.
Yeah, we got the second half here.
I think I've figured out a new revenue stream might work for you guys. You need a little jar on the counter, and every time somebody says Miller's, they have to put $1 in.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great.
We could retire. Okay, so can we go into the second?
Yeah, we're going to announce it here in a second here, Robbie. Give me a second. We have new equipment, and we don't have the paper in front of us anymore. And this is something we have to get ourselves used to. Hoping
Here,
I
take
know,
this.
there it is. Thank you.
Take the paper.
Thank you, Barry. I still need the
Always
paper.
keep that piece.
Old fashioned here. All right, new business, again, we did A, Big Red Orchard Holdings LLC. Now we're gonna do B, Big Red Orchard Holding LLC, 4932 Mile Road, parcel 240405100044. And I believe this is going to involve something small, attachment or addition of some sort.
So our current patio, hold on, I got another photo. Okay, so our patio, right now, this overhang is actually just a covered part of the patio. And then the whole front, there's pergolas, and that's outdoor seating. So we have like an L, which is outdoor seating. And we wanted to take this 16 by 35 foot piece that are 3 exterior walls and enclose them so that we can incorporate that into the restaurant so it has more of an all seasons use. Our current occupancy is 99 persons inside the restaurant. You can't fit over 60 people inside the restaurant. It just won't work. Nobody would be comfortable, so we don't do it. By enclosing this, we're not asking for an occupancy increase at all. We want to keep our occupancy at 99 persons. We just want to enclose this space so that we get more of an all seasons use and we can treat our customers, to seating availability once it starts to get cold out, because then it will become an issue seating everybody in the place. We are also potential parking concerns. The parking lot right now is set up for 350 parking spaces. That's maximum that we can fit. And we did that when we figured out the event center here. We have an occupancy of 695 persons in that building, which we cannot achieve with a wedding. The largest wedding that would comfortably fit is about 400 people. and the parking ratio is a 2-to-1, 2-person to 1 car. So that's 200 spots if there's a 400-person wedding in that space. And then 99 persons if that was completely maxed out in the restaurant with, I believe it's a 3-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, that's correct.
So that gives us 33 additional spots. So if we maxed out our occupancy, well, for a wedding at 400, we are not putting more than 400 people in there. So we're able to reduce the amount of cars. We'd be at 233 cars in a 350 lot. If we get into something like that, we always bring in parking attendants because we do have our overflow parking that is unpaved. And if one person starts it off wrong, then the whole thing gets messed up. So we do, anytime we know we have higher volume of cars, we're getting parking attendants to direct and park cars so that we can fit them in there. So parking on our end, we don't feel it's going to cause an increased need with what we have and then what the, potential max things coming together at the same time would be. It is 560 square foot that would be enclosed. I think I covered it. Anything else you wanted to say?
What was the outer dimensions, Rob?
16 by 35. So we are going to head 16 feet to the east, and then we are going to head 35 feet south, and then return back 16 feet. And currently, the overhang, you zoom on this.
Overhang is 12.
Oh, there we go. I'm not computer guys.
You're increasing the footprint by 16 by 35.
Yes.
Yes.
So this overhang that's covered seating outside. We're going to extend it to the fence.
All the way
We want to enclose it to the fence that's already there for the patio, which would reduce our outdoor seating and bring that in. And we would just have the front pergola area for outdoor seating in the spring, summer, fall months.
Is the main reason for the 99 occupants to keep you under the sprinkler
Yes, exactly.
limitations of the code?
When we acquired this property,
Just asking.
it was a challenge.
Yeah.
Sure.
Getting everything right, you know what I mean, to where we felt comfortable bringing the public in, and then any renovations that we did. So yeah, we are keeping it at 99. We do not look to sprinkle this building. The event center is fully sprinkled.
So what would you be using that newly enclosed area for? What would it?
Like right now, when when it's great weather out, people are sitting
outside.
outside. They're not sitting inside the restaurant, which is great. But our outside seating is as big as our inside seating. So like summertime, people aren't inside the restaurant, they're outside sitting on the patio. There's more bad weather than good weather in Michigan, so we feel comfortable taking out some of the outside seating and making that all season seating, and we would still have that front patio available for people in good weather.
You'd keep the existing outdoor seating, just whatever footprint is left?
Yeah, and it's what we can handle. Restaurants are a little bit tough to staff, so we're real cognizant of the service and the quality of product we're putting out. So it's really determinant on that. But yeah, the outdoor seating in that spot, you have 3 pergolas, and you have 3 tables under those. So
I didn't see, no, you're going to match the nature of the design.
yeah, it'll
on
follow.
the
It'll be.
building as
Yeah,
it
the
is.
white and the green paint and,
It will be barn metal, green and white, matching the current structure. Realistically, when we do this, because we're going to be adding new shingle, I mean, we're probably going to go ahead and have to reshingle
as you can see.
the whole
we need
building
new
because it's that time.
It's there.
So yeah, it'll match it. The facade will match the window orientation that's already existing going across the front. It's going to continue that. In a year, nobody would remember that it wasn't. It just look like the current structure.
Okay. Staff, did you have anything to add to your written commentary? President doesn't? Kayla, anything?
No.
Christine?
Nope.
Okay. I believe this is public hearing as well, correct?
No.
No, this is
No,
just
we
just
already
site plan.
did that. We're on
Already
to
did that? Oh, that held over? Okay. Very
No,
good.
this is just a site plan.
a
There's no
revised
public
site
hearing.
plan approval?
Okay. Commissioners?
Minor site plan amendment, yeah.
Minor, okay.
Commissioners, any questions of the applicant?
No?
I think they've answered
Covered
everything.
very well.
You want?
Yes.
Well, do we need a motion?
Yes.
We'll always need a motion.
If you want to approve or deny it.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Please.
For the site plan request for Big Red Orchard Holdings, LLC located at 49 0032 Mile Road, parcel 240405100044, for the purpose of enclosing a 560 square foot portion of the existing outdoor patio area.
And I'm sorry to just jump in, that's a great motion. This is where we probably want that updated site plan to reflect this building footprint being changed, because again, the current site plan that's on file is out of date, would be out of date.
Okay, Robbie, did you hear what the president said?
So would that be something that would have to be done after the fact?
We can sign off on that at a pre-planning as long as
Okay.
it's verified that it's been shown on there and that it's an accurate representation. of the
Okay,
site.
so you understand?
Oh, yeah, we'll update,
Yeah.
yeah, we can get that
The motion
updated,
should be
absolutely.
conditioned upon providing them the.
Providing that at
Yeah,
pre-planning.
so on the motion to be conditioned on you updating the site plan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
To the
very good.
satisfaction of the township
I'll
engineer.
second that motion.
All right. We're not going to go through all 8?
You don't have to, we already did the special land use.
Please.
Keep your sense. Okay, Barry, you seconded?
I did.
Okay, well, here we go. Let's get some voting done here, man. This is the big deal now. The votes count, right? Huh?
Right.
Everything up until now doesn't really mean a whole lot until we vote.
Amen.
And, all right, very good. Okay. Sir Thomas,
Yes.
Sir Barry,
Yes.
okay, Sir Jaski,
Yes, sir.
Sir John,
Yes.
Sir Dr. Hall,
Yes.
okay, Sir Gary Robb,
Yes.
and Sir Chair says yes. Live it up,
Thank
Thank you very much, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
live it up. Okay, we've gone an hour and a half. Does anybody need to take a break? Would that be wise?
Keep rolling.
Come on, okay, I'll listen to you,
Get this
Barry.
going.
When we gotta take a break, we'll
Yeah,
go.
let's
Fine.
go.
Do you want to take a break, Ronaldo?
No, I'm good.
Are you all right? Okay. All right, all right. Let me get to my agenda here.
All right.
We are going to Washington Parkway, and this is a public hearing as well. Rezoning, A1 agriculture residential to IRT, industrial research technology. We have a number of parcels, 2404, 11400, 006, 007, 020, 024, 026, 028. North side of 30 Mile Road, east of M53, and west of Powell Road. So I think you get the picture of where that is, folks, and I'm sure our applicant who's here today will point out where that is, and please, applicant,
Yes.
let us hear your story.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Planning Commission. My name is John Gaber, and I am the attorney for the applicant, Avery Real Estate Holdings, and I have Mr. Paul Bowers here too, who is the owner of Avery. And we're pleased to have this opportunity to be in front of you. This has been a long time coming with this proposal. Washington Parkway is essentially about a 51-acre tract of land, and it was purchased primarily from Avery from the township. And that was probably in the 2020, 21, 22, or pardon me, 2021, 22 timeframe. And at that point in time, the understanding was that we would come in front of you to rezone the property from its current agricultural A1 use, or pardon me, zoning, to IRT, or to some form of industrial zoning. Actually, at that time, you didn't have the IRT ordinance yet. But now you do, and that's what we're proposing, to rezone that entire property. The intent is to create an industrial condominium, essentially. It's an 11-unit condominium, and we've submitted for the condominium review too. As a matter of housekeeping, we're just in front of you tonight on the rezoning. We would like to postpone the condominium review to your next meeting. And the reason is there are some adjustments and revisions to the plans that our engineer PEA needs to make. So with that, we're just focusing on the rezoning that's in front of you tonight. And we're hopeful that you will see to your way to favoring the rezoning and giving a positive recommendation to the township board. One other housekeeping matter, we've submitted materials as required by your ordinance, a development impact statement being one of the things. We would ask for a waiver at this time of the traffic impact study component of that. And the reason is because at this point in time, we're going to submit the condominium, so we've got 11 units, but it's a site condominium. We're not submitting for any proposed development within that site condominium. So we're not proposing any buildings with any numbers, any square footage, number of employees, anything like that. So we think it's more appropriate for a traffic impact study to be submitted when we know exactly what's going to be proposed to be built on the property. So that's why we're requesting that waiver, as part of our submittal as well. So let's get into this. Let's get into the overview here. So you see where the site is. It's just north of 30 Mile Road, to the east of M53, to the west of Powell Road. And you see the site, as I mentioned, about 51 acres, proposing the rezoning to IRT. Here's an aerial map of the site. You can see it's not real clear, it's probably clearer on your computer screens. The red outline shows the boundary of the site, and that would be where, where all 11 units are limited. If you look at the zoning ordinance, essentially, you see our site, as I mentioned, is zone A1, agricultural residential. To the north of our site, we've got some industrial. To the northeast is the total sports complex, which is still A1. Directly to the east of us, you have the township-owned property, which, as you know, has been rezoned to the IRT zoning as well. A1 to the south, and then to the west and northwest, essentially we have industrial zoning all the way in that area. So we think this zoning is certainly appropriate to be compatible with the existing zoning in the area and what is proposed in the master plan. So this is your future land use map, and it clearly shows that this area in the red is proposed to be IRT in terms of the zoning classification. So the master plan supports the rezoning in that way. When we took a conveyance of this property from the city, there was certain language in the deed that basically set the course of action for us to be in front of you tonight. There are deed restrictions in those deeds, and what the deed restrictions provide is that the use of these properties will be consistent under the industrial zoning district of the township zoning ordinance, as the same may be amended. And it also says that the developer will create an industrial condominium for this property too. So we're required to do this as a matter of deed restriction when the township conveyed the property to us. And we're just fulfilling that obligation at this point in time. So if you look at your rezoning criteria, I will go through these hopefully fairly briefly so as not to bore you, but there are many applicable rezoning criteria that you're obligated to look at in connection with any rezoning in front of you. The biggest one is consistency with the goals, policies, and future land use map of the township's master plan. As I showed in the previous slide, the proposed rezoning is intended by the master plan because IRT is a designation on the future land use map. Also, a major goal of the master plan is economic development, and this request of rezoning supports this goal. If you look at the language taken, the quote on the bottom here, taken right out of your master plan, it says the township recently established an industrial district on the east side of M53, north of 30 Mile, and the need became apparent for a second district, focused more closely on technology and research uses and aimed at creating a more park-like setting for these uses without outdoor storage. The new IRT district also permits a range of supporting commercial uses along the 30-mile thoroughfare. Infrastructure, including roads and utilities, is in place in this area, which was first identified to a potential industrial development during the 2018 update with your master plan. So your master plan clearly supports the proposed rezoning to IRT. A second criteria is compatibility with the environmental, hydrological, geological, and physical features of the site for current uses that are currently permitted. So obviously, the property is vacant now. Then it's mostly open land that could be used for the current principal permitted uses in A1. But these are not the highest and best uses, and they're certainly not the uses intended by the township in its master plan or when they conveyed the property to us. Number three, you look at the compatibility with potential uses in the IRT in the proposed zoning district with surrounding uses and surrounding zoning. So I've got the list there of all the permitted uses under the IRT zoning, and we would submit that these are consistent with the adjacent area. The roads and public infrastructure have already been installed to facilitate the IRT uses, and the IRT uses will not harm the adjacent property, as the property to the west I've mentioned and the north is general industrial. The township's property is IRT to the east, and then Total Soccer is A1, as well as the property south of 30 Mile Road. So we think this will be consistent with all of those potential uses and with that zoning classification. There are substantial reasons the property cannot be developed with the uses permitted under the current zoning, because really the market is not there and it's not consistent with the intentions of the township, as I mentioned, under its master plan or in the deed restrictions. The capability of utilities and services has to be sufficient to accommodate the proposed uses. As I mentioned, there are two public roads. There's both the north-south road that has a cul-de-sac and the east-west road that runs out to Powell Road. And essentially those are there. They're township roads currently. They were constructed by the township. And essentially those are roads that have been proposed to be dedicated to the county, and that process is pending. We're waiting on the county to officially go through the process and accept those roadways, but they will be dedicated. The capability of the street system to satisfy and accommodate the expected traffic generated, as I mentioned, the township installed those roads for this purpose, for this type of development. So we think that criteria is satisfied. The apparent demand for the types of uses permitted in the IRT relative to the amount of land in the township currently zoned and available to accommodate the demand. The township does not have a sufficient amount of land to basically fulfill its goals and policies in the master plan for more economic development through industrial property. That's why the township, I believe, created the IRT district and proposed that this area, including the adjacent township property, be used for those purposes. We have, or the applicant has, I should say, received offers and inquiries for its properties, but we have to go through this property, or this process to rezone them and then to get the site condominium approved before we can bring those before you. Number 8, whether the boundaries are reasonable in relationship to the surroundings and construction will be able to meet the dimensional regulations of the zoning district. As some of your consultants' reports show, yes, we will be able to meet that with the condominium units. I think the smallest unit is 2 acres within that condominium. So we certainly have the room within those units to meet the dimensional requirements of your ordinance. And then whether the requested rezoning is a logical extension of an existing district in the area, we would submit that yes, it is, because the township rezoned the adjacent property to IRT. And then finally, the requested rezoning will not create an isolated or spot zoning. Well, we don't believe it will, because the master plan shows other land, in particular the township property, as being zoned the same way. So therefore, we don't think it creates a spot zoning, because there is adjacent property that not only is planned IRT, but is already zoned IRT. So for these reasons, we believe that we meet the criteria for the rezoning, and we hopefully, you'll find that that is the case, and will approve our recommendation, or make a positive recommendation to the Township Board. And we're here, Mr. Bowers and I are here to answer any questions that you may have to move forward with this process. And then next month, we will be in front of you with the condominium. So thank you for your time and attention. We appreciate it.
Thank you for that extensive explanation. I think commissioners will go to a public hearing before we start firing questions. So can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have a duly noticed public hearing on this matter, which we are dealing with the rezoning portion, not the entire application, but this is strictly for the rezoning. So if there's anyone here who would like to comment, please feel free. You got the podium. Oh, come on up to the podium, Chris.
Is this going to be an industrial condominium complex or just like a residential condominium complex? That's why I was a little confused.
Industrial.
So it'll be industrial, but, multi-unit industrial. Okay, that's all.
I believe it's 11 units, isn't it, Mr. Gabor?
It is, it's 11 units.
11 units, okay. Very good.
If memory serves me correct, I mean, this is something that we've discussed for many years regarding having industry or industrial in that area.
That's why the township had set that aside and put the road in and promoted that to begin with. So that was the whole idea from the get-go.
Are there any other public comments?
Yeah.
We can close the public hearing.
We can, well, public comments. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Support? Support, okay, we got that, Ronnie. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing's closed. Commissioners, go for it.
Counselor, would I be able to use everything that he said in his presentation as my motion? Because he hit the nail on the head on every one of those items, and I don't think I could say it any better.
There's no doubt Mr. Gabriel was very eloquent, but you cannot simply adopt what he said. You can hit the high points, such as
You got the
consistent with the
page right in
master
front of you.
plan,
It's-
consistent with surrounding zoning districts,
Yep.
sufficient capacity and availability of water and sewer, and
And
This
what I
one, you
said-
don't have to make a finding on all 12. You can consider those 12 in your findings of fact, but it's not like the special land use 8 where you have to go through each
Yeah,
checkpoint.
incorporate the 12 into your summary.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the rezoning from the, what?
I wrote that up.
Well, thank, if you'd like. I'd like to make a motion to, I'm sorry, let me get back to where I was. Make a motion to approve the rezoning from an A1 to IRT, Industrial Research Technology, for parcels 240411, 400, 006, 007, 020, 024 through 026, and 028, north side of 30 Mile, east of M53 and west of Powell Road. Taking in consideration of the rezoning requirements, that it's consistent with our master plan, it's consistent with the surrounding zoning districts, it has sufficient capacity and availability of water and sewer, and the uses in the IRT are consistent with the surrounding uses, and it ultimately meets the goal of what our master plan has laid out. That's my motion.
with all due respect,
Please.
you guys are not the deciding body, you are the recommending.
Oh, we are
body.
recommending this to the township board for approval.
I would also recommend adding in the parcel numbers.
Okay.
Do you have those readily
I
available?
said those, didn't I?
I missed it if you did.
At the
Oh, you
beginning?
did. I apologize.
No problem. Well, then, I'll support it.
Somebody wake up Kayla.
Okay, we have a support, a motion, a support. We got a little bar over there, sidebar.
No,
You
you're
all
okay.
right? We got a motion with a
We
support.
do have a motion with support, but there's also one more requirement that should be addressed, that's the requirement of the traffic study.
Yes.
Is the planning
Oh.
commission recommending the township board that they waive that requirement, and if so, why?
As part of my motion, I would like to, can I postpone the traffic study until further development occurs, or do I waive it at this time for this?
It's only required for the rezoning. If the applicant is offering to submit at a different time, you can certainly include that.
I would,
There's other, depending upon the size of the units that come in, if they're 5 acres or larger, it's going to automatically be required moving forward. If they do one of the 2-acre sites as the first site, well, then they wouldn't need it.
okay.
So you're
We could
probably
just-
covered by just keeping it, just
waiving
wave
it.
it here, and then it'll get itself
I'm
caught.
comfortable, I'm comfortable with waiving it as part of my motion.
All right, Peter?
And I'll second that.
Okay, here we go. Roll call, Chair Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Jaski.
Yes.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes.
Dr. Hall.
Yes.
Mr. Rob.
Yes.
Chair says yes. Okay,
Right.
rezoned. Recommendation to the board.
Thank you very much. We look forward to being in front of you on the site condominium very shortly.
Yes. Thank you very much. Good luck, Paul.
The board still does need to take
Thanks, guys.
action on the site condo,
Yes, yes, indeed.
and as requested by the applicant, we're requesting to be tabled
Yes,
to next month.
that's, pardon,
That'll be the next item.
that's the next item. Because we got a pair of these, correct?
Correct.
That'll be
I just
tabled
didn't want
to
to
the-
skip down to next month.
All right, so letter D, Washington Parkway.
Number D.
Industrial condominium submission review. Parcels number 2404, 11, 400, 006, 007, 020, and 024-026, 028, north side of 30 Mile Road, east of M53, west of Powell Road. So, all right, Mr. Gabor, you want to talk to us about that?
He requested to be tabled to October.
I would like to make a recommendation that we postpone this item D until the October 9th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting.
And that's not a recommendation, it's just a flat-out motion.
It's just a flat out.
It's just a motion, not a recommendation of the board.
Just a
This is
motion.
not a rezoning, it's just a condominium.
Oh,
You said recommendation.
Yeah, we're not making recommendations.
not
to
on
the board,
this.
not
This
on
is just it's a
This is
motion to postpone until the October 9th meeting,
Planning.
Correct.
Planning Commission meeting.
All right, I'll second that, Barry. Okay, we better take our roll call. Chair Bear?
Yes.
Chair Bob? Yes. Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Mr. Jaski?
Yes.
Mr. Chaplin?
Yes.
Dr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Rob?
Yes.
See you in October.
Thank you again. We appreciate your time.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody need to take a break before we get to zoning ordinance text amendment? Kayla? You think you-
You could do that.
This is a quick one.
All right,
We do have to open it up for public hearing, but essentially, this was a clerical error in the actual adopting ordinance of our parking amendments. So that was many months ago, but we caught this when we did the adopting ordinance. It accidentally removed a section of your code that we didn't intend to remove. This amendment is just to put that language back in the code exactly as it was. It's just clerical.
okay,
There's nothing substantive, it's just a clerical.
all right, very good. Does anybody have questions of Dr. Kayla? I don't. If we don't, we have to have a public hearing.
Motion to open a public hearing?
Okay. Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, public hearing is now open on amending our zoning ordinance for a clerical error at section 5.3 residential developments. Is there anyone here this evening who would like to comment on that? Thank you. I think motion to close.
Motion to close.
Okay,
Support.
it's all second. Supported. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, public hearing is closed in regard to our zoning ordinance text amendment, so we're ready to go forward with that
And again, this would be a recommendation of approval to the township
to the
board.
township board. And it's all understood. For the record, this is again a recommendation to the Board of Trustees to use their authority and amend that text for us I don't know how that clerical error
I'll
here.
make a recommendation to forward to the Township Board an approval of the zoning ordinance text amendment due to clerical error of section 5.3 of the residential development standard.
Okay, very good.
Have to second that? Or not?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to second.
motion.
Okay, second. Ron seconded, okay. All right. Let's take a vote. Chair Bear.
Yes.
Mr. Jaski.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
Mr. Chaplin.
Yes.
Dr. Hall.
Yes.
Newbie Gary Robb.
Yes.
All right, Chair Bob, yes. Okay, we can make a referral. All right, you having fun yet, Rob?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we want to know. We don't want to run you off. You know, we need you. We need a full complement up here. Okay, let's see, we're going to move forward. Anybody want to take a break before we move forward?
Bob, do you need a break?
I have to ask.
I'm worried.
I want to be polite and ask.
He's a good man. He's a
All
good
right,
man.
very
Good
good.
point.
All right, good. No, I'm good, Coach. I'm good, President. Okay, our next call. Where's our next victim? F, Michelangelo Retail Center.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here they come. You're up, Mike. Site plan review, 5,625 square foot, multi-tenant commercial building. Parcels 240414, 100-010, east side of Van Dyke, south of 30 Mile Road, specifically right next to Haida Bright Chevrolet. Oh, that's my phone. Oh, don't ignore that.
Like angels.
It's in my briefcase.
It's not too annoying.
It's
Nice
to listen. I try to, okay.
Hopefully they call
Did
me
you
back.
need the break to take that call?
No, I don't. You're too kind. I'm good, I'm good.
Care Bear. If he lays it out there on the table, hit it with that hammer.
You know better.
All right, Michelangelo and company, we're all ears.
Good evening, everybody. John DeLislo with Noack and Frous, 48680 Shelby Township, Van Dyke. So we've got this site on Van Dyke north of 29, and you're very familiar with it, I'm sure. It's been vacant for some time now. Used over the years, but never fully developed. We submitted a plan based on the timing of the land deal that is, I believe, going to lapse after today. We've got a building with 3 retail units proposed. There is no sewer available. We have septic field plan for the site, very shallow stormwater outlet, but that one is available in Van Dyke as well, and there is water available to the site. We're proposing screening of the residential building behind us, which is somewhat in disrepair, not well maintained. This opportunity here would provide a nice screen for that, perhaps. And we're looking for approval, less the actual floor plan and elevation, but we did present a concept which will meet the materials and height requirements of the township. We can certainly provide those, as we will the signage and lighting package at a later time. We were looking to gain consideration of approval for the layout, which does satisfy the parking and, provides an opportunity to make use of an otherwise difficult site. And I'll introduce Ben Aloya here to speak to the issues that pertain to the easements.
Thank you. I know there's a question regarding access to the north easement raised by the planner. This parcel is one of 3 parcels that was split from the original. Behind is the apartment complex, and then further behind is the storage. They were all owned by the Fritz Trust. Mr. Jeff Fritz is actually here, who is a trustee of that trust and the original owner of all 3 parcels. As in 1979, they had planned to split all 3 with the easement and access to all 3. We have worked through this issue, not only with Mr. Fritz, but also with the title company. to the extent that each of the deeds, and they were split off, gave access rights to the easement. This parcel has not been sold by the Fritz estate. And so through the title company, we have established the easements and proven the easements. Not only we will have that established through our deed and the legal description at the time of conveyance, but also through an affidavit which will be filed by Mr. Fritz at the time of closing. So it is consistently used this as access, even though it's been vacant, but it has been known. The property owners have been notified of this hearing. There's no objection. They're aware of the development, so we don't see access as an issue. Certainly, any site plan approval would be contingent upon finalization, but we can't really give you the documentation of it because all that will be finalized at closing. If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer those questions. Oh, and the owner's also here, so if you want a history of it, I know that he's willing to speak to it as well.
Well, that'd be fine, Ben.
Thank you.
Staff, I don't know if you want to add on to what you've already written. Don't feel obligated. We can ask our planning commissioners if they have questions of Mr. Mike Magnoli and Michael. If they have any questions, are you ready to? Where'd you go? Well, there he is. He's still here. All right.
Yeah.
All right, commissioners, feel free. Mike's a big boy. He can take it.
Yeah, I'll start. I think we need a full submittal. I mean, the elevation plan that was submitted as concept shows a drive-through. It's 5 units. We're looking at 3. I'd like to see what the building looks like before I even start a review.
Well, that's a conceptual elevation. We don't know how many units we're talking to a tenant or 2 now. We don't know if it's going to be 1 unit, the whole building. We know we're not going to put a drive-through through there, so with the time constraint, it's all brick and block, and like all our buildings on Van Dyke, we're not putting no siding, or the materials are like consistent with all our other buildings. But we're just looking to get an approval subject to, the square footage. When we came in for the pre-planning, there was no objection. We're not looking to get maximum square footage. Whatever the parking lot allows is the square footage of the building. We want an easy one. This property's been sitting here forever, and we're trying to finally get something approved on there that can transfer from the Fritz family to ours. If it's not something the township wants, there's not an issue with that at all. We just want to put another building on Van Dyke, similar to what you see here. EFS up on top of the parapet, all brick and block like all our other buildings. So, Mr. Fritz, did you?
I have a question for,
Well,
I just hate to set a precedent of accepting plans that don't reflect what's going to be built before we approve a job. I'm not comfortable with it, but you guys.
Macomb County Health Department, they've just submitted late, Mike.
They approved it.
They did approve it?
They dug about a month and a half, 2 months ago. They dug.
Okay.
Yeah, just like the orchards that just was approved, subject to their plans. We just want to get approved subject to our plans.
It's not built yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually with our official presentation, Michael, conceptual is not something we approve. Usually come for us official, and we want to see the final product. And then maybe we can do a contingent approval. But conceptually, it's difficult for us to, we don't do it. We just don't do that.
I like the building you're thinking about doing, but I'd like to see what you're actually going to build.
Well, we're negotiating with clients right now anyway, so, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks great.
See, and I think we were all under that impression that based on the recommendations or the evaluations from the engineering and planning staff, there's still a lot of question marks for us. When I'm looking at we don't have the details on the building. We don't have the materials or the dimensions. You've got a 10-foot wide path where an 8-foot wide path, I think, is required. There's some landscaping issues that have to be sorted out with regards to buffer zones between the apartments and that. So I'd like to see those dimensions and a final plan before I could approve anything. Those are the kind of things that we we're just going to have.
I think there was an issue of concrete instead of asphalt.
We're putting
Correct.
concrete down.
Yeah, they're showing the 8-foot wide pathway, but
Right.
yeah, it was just a material change on that.
Anything that's, we can do it subject to, we have no issues putting concrete, all our parking lots are concrete.
Okay, good, Mike. Yeah, I just, there's just too many untied strings, Mike, and planning commissioners don't really do a contingency on something with so many untied
I'm
strings.
gonna make recommendation, we postpone this to the October 9th meeting.
Support.
For support, all right. We got to take a roll call on that. Okay, Chair Bear.
Yes.
Sir John.
Yes.
Sir Ron.
Yes.
Sir Peter.
Yes.
Sir Dr. Hall.
Yes.
Sir Gary.
Yes.
Sir Bob, yes. We'll see you in October.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, I got to renew my suggestion is, anybody need to take a break? Huh?
Zoom in.
See, nah, hey, I got to take her. All right, I got to take her. And I'm going to follow him right out there. You saved me, Pete.
So, just for my stupidity, all the stuff on the left hand
5-minute break.
is where
I motioned and seconded.
we can see the information here.
Right, you see this one here, this says agenda.
Back on the record.
Appreciate that.
And we welcome you back again, Washington Township residents. We had a slight break because we're working hard this evening. Had a lot of work tonight. I'll tell you, it's been a real adventure, and we're not finished. So hang in there and enjoy yourselves. We're going to call up Washington Creek.
We got one more small development that's take no time at all, right? Is that right?
Here we go. The Township Board requested, a new review and recommendation based on the level of changes, formal planned unit development, multifamily, and single-family residential development at 13685 31 Mile Road, parcel number 240401300013. Acreage is about 70-plus acres. The location in general is north side of 31 Mile Road, east of M53. And I know our folks are here from Washington Creek. They've visited with us regularly for the last year.
Year and a half.
Oh, a year and a half, thank you, Paul.
Who's counting?
But who's counting? Okay. Well, they are here, and they're ready to make their new presentation,
Yes.
and we're all ears.
All right. Good evening. My name is Felino Pasquale, landscape architect. With me here is David Devuca with Contour Company, Justin Raz with Contour Company, and Greg Yizzo with SM Engineering. I guess to start off, I wanted to start off to recap on from our last Planning Commission meeting, which was on March, where there was basically we received denial. So I want to start with that, I guess. This plan here is that previous plan we had. This plan we were proposing in terms of the density was 298 units, of which 106 single-family lots and 192 multifamily. This is one of the items that you guys have brought up that you kind of indicated that the density was too much, and partly because some of the setbacks, we weren't complying with some of the perimeter setback requirement, which I believe kind of affected the density. The other item that you guys also brought up was the open space. Because we are going under the PUD, the open space required is 15%, which equates to about 10.43 acres. And that open space is actually, let's see, this is the open space plan, actually. So the green was what we were proposing from the March plan. And, we've included the green belt and some of the perimeter green belt along here as part of our open space. And I think there was some question that should not be part of the open space. The third item is the waiver that we have requested. We have requested multiple waivers in terms of building setback along here, requested some landscape waivers for the green belt along here, as well as a landscape waiver here. We've also requested some landscape waiver for, the earth berming, and as well as 20-foot landscaping, green belt in the interior. And finally, I think the community benefit was the last item you guys brought up, all right? With all of these four items, we took a hard look on our site plan, and we've revised that. This new site plan here address, hopefully, most of these items. So this new site plan, the previous plan has 298 units. This revised site plan has 279 residential units. That's a reduction of 19 residential units, of which 4 of them are single family and 15 is multi-family. And where we lost these units really are some single family lost it here as well as here. So as you can see, it opened it up. We've also lost a couple buildings here, and we've lost some units along here, and that's where the reduction came from. With that, our density now is, of that 270 units, we have 102 single-family lots and 177 multifamily units, of which 32 are still the stack units, and 141 are the townhouses. Now, I want to kind of note that based on the zoning, even though it's a PUD, we're using a R1D, RM2, the allowable density is 382 units. This proposed revised plan here, we're proposing 279, which equates to about 103 units less than what is allowable, which equates to about 27%. So if you look at it in terms of density, you know, we're 1.5 units per acre less than what's allowable. So with that being said, because of the loss of density, you know, we're able to provide an open space area of 17.3%, and that equates to, you know, 11.77 acres. So now, you know, and with that open space, we've eliminated all the areas which include in the previous, which is the green belts, the setbacks here, the green belts area here, all this landscape area here. So this is strictly the open area where we are proposing some trailways and created really this connectivity. So if you look at this design here, when you come in, you're looking at an open space. As you continue this residential loop here, it opens up at the center here, which is really integrates the whole open space system throughout the whole site. So with the open space, you know, calculation, we did not include the wetland. We did not include the detention. We did not include the 31-mile road green belt, nor did we include the building setbacks, the property, or the drain easements and the backyards. So, you know, I think we are in line with the open space, and we've exceeded the required 15%. So with regards to the waiver, we're only requesting really the one waiver, which is this greenbelt area at this location right here. Aside from the waiver of the A1, which is the use and the dimensional, there's really the main waiver we're asking for is just that greenbelt. They're not requiring any kind of waivers for the single family. We've complied with all the requirements. We're not requiring waivers for the building setbacks, nor are we requiring any kind of waivers for the greenbelt areas that we asked previously.
The green belt waiver you're looking for, that's at that pinch point where
That's at that pinch point.
goes right down to the
Right
width of the
there.
road,
These
right?
two pinch point right there.
That's all wooded behind it as well.
Right. And we did ask, you know, MDOT obviously is a difficult challenge to get a, you know, easement. And we did ask the homeowner if we can get an easement to plant some landscaping on his side, and at this time, he's not willing to do that. Nor is he willing to sell the property at this time.
I don't remember.
All right, folks, staff, before we go to the commissioners, you both extensively rewrote reviews, which we really appreciate, and I think you helped our applicants sharpen their pencils. And it shows that they really did. So it appears you've both made a positive recommendation. Michael, Kayla, you both have.
Yeah, just in very brief, all of our comments had been addressed, as our letter indicates, and as we've talked about today with the site to the south on south of 31 Mile Road, there's obviously public utilities that have been intentionally installed in this area to provide service to developments that are like this. So that's indicated in our letter and has been from the very beginning.
Yeah.
There's adequate capacity in those systems to serve the site.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Kayla?
Yeah, and we did give a positive recommendation at the board level as well, based on the changes that the applicant made in response to planning commissioner comments. Just to summarize those from our letter, the total reduction in the number of units, nearly 20 units, 6% reduction in that density, and it's in line with the master plan vision for this area. They did add the additional buffering and landscaping. I think the big one in response to planning commission comments is that the recreational amenities were added throughout both the multifamily and single-family portions of the site. That's something that differs from the original plans that were submitted. So those were the things that we identified. The applicant is still requesting 2 waivers. One is what you would request with any PUD. That's a waiver from the dimensional and use standards of the base zone. That's why you go through the PUD process. But the second is for that pinch point, as the applicant has described. We did recommend a few revisions, not to the site plans, but to the PUD agreement Exhibit B list, just to match it up with the resubmitted plans. And then there's an area of the pathway along 32 Mile Road where the applicant had actually proposed beyond the township standards to 10 feet. We just recommend bringing that back to 8 feet for consistency with the pathway network, just for purposes of pedestrian and bicyclist traffic. So those were the only things outstanding from our letter. And when the Planning Commission makes its motion on this, just a reminder that this will be based in those 8 special land use criteria. So make sure that you have findings for each of those.
And planning commissioners, we're making recommendation again to the Board of Trustees. They had the applicants before them, I believe, last month, and that was the decision of the Board of Trustees that the Planning Commission make the review and recommendation, which is, I'm glad they did that. That's our process. That was wise. And so here we are.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, when you're making your motion on the 8 standards, you do not need to read the 8 standards, but you do need to say how the standard is met.
So the one thing I did notice about the new construction, you guys have really stepped up on the building materials.
Yeah.
And that was important
That was
to a
good.
lot of us.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of these buildings, they're majority masonry?
Yeah. Exterior, standards for the township, brick, hardy siding where needed, stone where we can. We understand the township's wants. We also understand the clients that we'd like to sell and rent to. So the quality of the material is going to be something for us that stands out for everything else.
And of course, this would be part of the, if we choose to approve, this would be part of the requirement.
Correct. And they actually have to demonstrate that they're separating properties, like separating the elevations. So by providing this, they're stuck to that.
They have to
some degree.
separate them by so many units, right?
Correct.
At least 2 between each.
Yep.
They've built in this community before, I'm sure they're aware of that. Do we need to dictate that on the motion as well, or is that pretty standard?
No, this would
That's
be
it.
included in the approval.
That would be included with the approval. So we could make the motion contingent on recommendations of the planner, or would that be built into, do we need to build that in?
Approval contingent on the revisions that we suggested. No, sorry, these are wrapped up, so if you were to approve the development, these are wrapped up in their submission documents. You don't have to do anything separate with the motion.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Chair Barry, you ready to fight?
Should I continue?
Okay, well, listen, we're all ears. We'll give you some more rope.
I think the last portion of his
Yeah.
presentation was really, the nail was hit on the head by Kaylee and Mike.
Right, I was going to say that. You guys
The
basically
extensive
reiterated.
landscaping and what
Right.
we've changed with the clubhouse and the pathways, the park space, the dog parks, the kids' play set on the single-family side.
We're in line with the future land use. In terms of community benefits, we're, providing diverse housing options, increased tax base. But mainly, the main thing that I wanted to point out is we're providing 17% open space under the PUD. And in that open space, we're providing a dedicated community park and recreation, which include, a 3,200 square foot clubhouse with swimming pool, fitness. Park amenity includes, park benches, gazebo, pergola features, fountains, a dog park now we included, as well as a playscape pocket park area. So, and extensive landscaping throughout the whole site, which is not a standard if we would want.
Lots of green will be going in this place, literally. And
Lots of green. Well, I'll tell you, you really have worked hard with our staff, and that's what we always hope happens. We like to follow what they tell us, and their expertise is deep, as you know. And, we show up here once a month. They do this stuff many hours in the week, in the month, and the year. And we have to rely a great deal on what all three of them say. So they've done a great job. If they come out on your behalf, that's saying something that always doesn't happen, fellows. So they must really be respectful, and we are. We appreciate your diligence. This is a different plan. It looks much nicer than the other. Where I really can't say a whole lot more about it. We have one person in the audience, and I don't want to cut him out. He might want to say something. Chris?
You guys know my thoughts on it, not to knock anyone. I guess my only, thing I would have to ask is, how exactly it qualifies for a PUD to allow the density, that's, outside of, it looks like a great development, it's awesome, but how does, what about it is so special to, allow the increase in density, as far as the regular,
Hey, Chris, I can speak to that. Basically, it falls in line with what the master plan showed, and for certain zoning districts, and there is a multifamily overlay district in that process, and if it were to be developed individually as multifamily or individually as R1D, right? They could do more units than what they're proposing at this development. So that's where the township has to weigh that's where before we were at an impasse, because there really wasn't that much difference, in my opinion, on the density. Now they're bringing a new plan together that drops it by 20 units. It puts it more in line with that. So it's a consideration we, as a commission, need to entertain to recommend to the board.
17% open space when 15% is a requirement.
It could be more dense than what they're proposing under the actual ordinance. So the PUD gives them the development flexibility to do something that they envision. We have to decide whether or not that's best for the community.
Let me add this, Chris. The White House is ready to issue a housing emergency. We do in the country. We have a serious situation with housing shortage for a lot of reasons. Cost is one of them. But there are many other reasons why we're short of homes and housing in our country. And they're ready to announce it because it's really difficult. It's not really fair for people who work hard, more the younger folks. They work hard, they work a couple jobs. They're trying to save up to buy a home. If they don't have the money, then the bank rate's going to beat the hell out of them. It's really a quagmire, and it really has to be resolved. And we want to hope it gets resolved because our township, just by the cost of housing and land and development in our township, is so prohibitive that, we got to do whatever we can to keep folks in the community. A lot of folks lived here many years, many decades, like me. I've been here since '73, and you don't want to leave the community. You want to stay in the community, but you don't want your great big house. You want to rent something. You want to get into something like that. And so these are the types of hybrid developments that complement what I believe our residents need. And they can enjoy clubhouse, open space, walking paths, a great location off of 32, off of 31, a lot of positives, the PUD thing, planned unit development. It's there, we give a little as a township government to get a little back to help the quality of life in our community. So I'm glad you respect what they've done. They've worked hard.
Oh, yeah, I know how, I'm building one house, and how hard it is.
Oh,
You know, I give them all the respect, I just, at the same time,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I'm in line with my vision and why we moved out here in the first place. The dirt road, I know that could be another issue, for residents moving there, so.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put, I think there is a program for, the state of Michigan might actually, put up some of the money or something can be done.
That's through the county. The Macomb County would have to make that determination, and the developer owners, the township can petition the county to try to do that. I don't know if everybody's ready, but I'd like to, I've been one of the ones on this project from day one, speaking density until I was blue in the face, and I appreciate.
Hey, don't forget Chaplin.
I appreciate I'm just saying, I know I for one have, and it's been a big pet peeve of mine that this.
The density bros.
And I just.
No, we heard you.
I appreciate that we've gotten to this point. Unfortunately, it's taken this long. But at this point, I'd like to make the motion to approve, or recommend approval to the Township Board for the Plan Unit Development application submitted by Washington Creek Parcel 240401 300 013 with consideration of the following waivers, as we noted before I gotta go to the other page, hold on. The waiver regarding the landscape requirements at the pinch point, and also, what was the other one, Kaylee? The fact that it is a PUD.
From the use and dimensional standards of the
The
A1
use and
zoning district.
dimensional standards of the A1. And also with noted changes of the PUD agreement for Exhibit B, and also reducing the width of the pathway on 32 Mile to 8 foot for consistency with the township pathway networks, and to specify, specify this as a dark sky friendly, the fixtures be dark sky friendly in accordance with township standards. Was there anything Mike needed on it? You're good, right? Okay.
I'm good.
Wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
And in accordance with the 8 special land use standards, that it be, the size and character be in harmony with an orderly development of the surrounding neighborhood and in accordance with the zoning district in which it is located. Now with the reduced density, it falls in line with that standard. The proposed use, nature of the vehicular and pedestrian traffic no more hazardous than is normal district involved. We had a traffic study on this, right?
Yes.
We did, yeah, that's all set. So that is in compliance with the standards with the vehicle traffic, vehicular and pedestrian traffic, and obviously the walkways throughout promote that as well. Proposed use shall be designed as to location, size, intensity, the site layout, eliminate possible nuisances emanating noxious. I think the dark sky fixtures will lend to that along with the landscaping requirements. The proposed use shall be such that the proposed location and height of the building and structures, walls, fences, landscaping, not interfere with, discourage, or appropriate development and use of adjacent land. I think this actually will lend to future development in the area as well, with the connection to the possible developments to the north. The proposed use shall relate to physical, economic aspects, prevailing shopping habits, convenience, access. This does not detour from that, and it will be harmonious with the intended uses of the lands around it. The proposed use is necessary for public convenience and proposed location. This is a needed use in the community with the multifamily and also the new single-family homes, as Bob had mentioned, with the housing crisis in the country. The proposed use is so designated, located, planned, and operated so that the public health, safety, and welfare will be protected. There's not an issue with the standard. It is in compliance with all of our ordinances that we have spoken about. The proposed use shall not cause substantial injury or value to properties in the vicinity. It's located, the homes are high-end, high-quality, good material in accordance with our construction standards. See no issue with that. It is my recommendation to the Township Board that we approve this project.
Very good. I'll second that motion. Okay, we're going to take a roll call. Chair Bear?
Yes.
Chair Bob? Yes. Chair Peter?
Ex-chair. Yes.
Longer than any of us. Secretary Ron?
Yes.
Hiram John?
Yes.
All right. Dr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Rob?
Yes.
Yeah, Bob, before we close out of this, I wanted to make one comment. And first, Chris, I want to thank you for coming out. I remember before I was anything here, I was out there in the audience with you when we're talking about this development. It's important to us that we get the feedback from the people that live in these areas and from the residents. I try and encourage people to come to these. I know the zoning you bought under and how things were back then.
Changed a lot since I bought it.
It has, and because of those changes, these guys have the right to develop the property under the current zoning, and you guys have come a long way with this development. I appreciate the changes you've made to address our concerns. I remember when you had a laundry list of things that you wanted waivers
About
on.
this thick, I think.
Where was this a year ago? Please, next time. So.
We had to listen for a year and understand, and that's what we did.
And we appreciate that. So I want to thank everybody that's participated in this process. It's been a long one, but we finally got somewhere good, I think.
I think this new board member here, he's definitely good luck for us. So
Oh, hey, there.
coming on the team.
There you go. He knows a few things about horseshoes. That's why he's good luck. Yes, indeed.
Thank you all. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck to you. All the best.
Doing something fantastic here. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to move on, not to, well, how about old business? Is there anything old we want to talk about?
Anybody need a break?
No? Somebody wants to take a break?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, no old business. Project update, President Michael.
Thank you, Chair. Very briefly, if we think about that little triangle of projects we have on Van Dyke right now, Romeo Office Medical Building, Van Dyke VNR Retail, and Leo's Coney Island, all still moving along. The Public Works Director assures us that you'll be able to get Coney's by Christmas.
We're talking about Leo's. I'm thrilled.
That was his
We got a Leo's in
landmark,
Washington.
so we're getting there. But those are all moving along well. Ground was broken here at Washington 27 Properties, which is next to the cement plant there, just north of Township Hall.
Any idea what they're going to do, Mike?
It's retail in nature. I believe there is a fast food tenant there, if I remember
Coffee
right.
shop or
Drive-through,
something.
Drive-through tenant, yeah,
Tim
not fast food,
Hortons
sorry.
or-
Drive-through.
He was saying a coffee
Dunkin'
shop.
Donuts?
I haven't,
No.
I actually have no idea. I'm not
Okay.
even pretending not to know.
Finally, they broke ground.
But they're moving.
Yeah.
Down at Newberry South, continuing as well, basically all of the topsoil cleared from that site. They had to do some underground work for some aerial utilities that had to be moved, but then also working underground there to try to get all their pavement in by the winter. They have multifamily in the back of that site, so lots of build out to go, but hopefully the site will be done shortly.
Excellent.
Viridian phases 2 and 3. They got multiple underground crews all over that site. Sanitary is about 90% done, and they're prepping to pave that this year as well. Be a lot getting here under the gun as usual in November. Cantor Farms has all the internal streets just about done there. They're working out at the entrance on the mound.
The concrete, they got the roads in?
Yep.
Oh, my.
Working on the taper lanes and bypass lane, both sides of the roads there coming into the site. So moving along really well there as well. And our friends over in Seven Lakes Overlook Trail, so that's Mr. Magnoli's project. Still some road work to do at the connection points to the main roads, and Juneberry Trail, which is the site to the west there. They just completed all their water main work, and they're working on mass grading for the road there, so those two will connect to each other. And that is all. It's been busy. When we went through the projects, I was, really, there's a dozen active projects right now, kind of spread all around. A lot of activity.
You all been busy.
Washington Place, that's the other one, sorry. At West Road here, you've seen a lot of progress there at the old.
Oh, the Hampton House.
Building's gutted, site work's underway, and they're really.
They're really going at it.
Yep.
They're gonna enclose that before the winter and.
Hope so. Be a little
get that
chilly
done now,
to
yeah.
sit there if they don't have windows.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Mike. You were great.
Thank you.
That was terrific. All right, John.
Okay, yeah, everyone's busy. We need to stop taking like summers off or something because the board had a long meeting. We first approved our new planning commission member, Gary Robb. Thank you for applying and coming on out. Glad to have you. We also appointed a new member of the Parks and Rec Commission, John Karras. He's now the new Parks Board member. And Tom Matthews was appointed as alternate for the Parks and Rec Board.
Okay.
And he is also heading up a committee for them that deals with working with seniors who are suffering from isolation issues.
Okay.
So he's going to be doing a couple of jobs for the Parks and Rec, and we're glad to have him. We renewed our contract with the Clinton River Watershed Council for more education and advocacy for clean water. It's all good stuff. Powell Roads between 30 and a half mile to 32, that's going to be paved at some point. Unfortunately, because the plan was approved back in 2003, and it's been some time since it was put on the books, our share went up significantly. Originally, it was supposed to be 3.5 million. Now it's sitting at 4.6 million, which took our share from 2.48 million to 3.3 million. So we got hit for an extra 770K roughly, but it's not going to get any cheaper in the future. So we've approved that. Mike, if you would explain the remote water pressure stations that we approved the engineering for?
So the board is committed to expanding water main to the western and northern ends of the town to provide fire protection and clean water. As we do that and we install actual facilities, we always get live pressure readings into the SCADA system. But we do have some mains that are kind of at those far reaches right now where it's difficult to understand exactly what the active pressures are at any moment's notice. So we'll be installing 2 remote pressure stations that will send a signal back to the SCADA system and give us real-time monitoring of what the pressures are there during peak hour demands in the summertime. Really helps the DPW team better operate the system.
Mike, is this as a result of that breakage that we're having a study done in the sewer?
No, that's on the sewer side. This is on the water side. So
Water side.
Yeah, correct. So this is all clean, pressurized drinking water. This is more just the ability to really understand how the system behaves. The township's demands in the summertime are 4 to 5 times what they are in the wintertime because people love to have green grass here.
Yeah.
So because of that, we need a little bit better idea of what's actually happening
Is
real
the
time.
sewer situation, did we get the
We
study?
completed that condition assessment. There were no more leaks or holes found in the sewer itself. We're waiting on just a final report back from the provider that did that work, that did the actual assessment. They had to do a little bit of additional monitoring to check out some pressure variations that they saw. We did see some gas pockets in the sewer that could be a result of the way the sewer system is operated that we may be able to address, but the pipe itself seems structurally sound, no major
But
issues.
didn't we have a concern that maybe our sewer system was being overtaxed because it caused the breakage, or was it because of something south of us? Or was the material just old?
Yeah, the failure of the line could be a number of things. It could have been, those gas pockets could be a cause of that. It could be simply something in the, it could be literally sitting up next to a rock that just slowly over time has helped erode away at that pipe. But the pipe's also old. It's a very caustic material. I had the pleasure of standing over the top of the manholes as we were running that ball through, and the deliciously great odors that come out when they turn those pumps on are quite the odor. So it's a sewage. So yeah, it causes issues. So we're confident that the pipe has some very good structural integrity at this time.
Excellent.
We'll keep evaluating.
Yeah, there was a worry there.
Yep.
All right, Michael, thanks. John, you want to
Thank you, Mike.
Continue.
Yeah, we are also purchasing, in keeping with the water theme, we are purchasing 2,700 water meter read units. So for the remote reading of the water meters on the houses, all those are aging out and they're losing their support. So we've got to buy roughly 2,700 and they'll start replacing those as soon as they can. So you may see some guys at your house wanting to stick some things on your wall. We bought back 6 cemetery plots from a resident who no longer needed them. We made a deal on it, though. It was $150 each we bought them back at, and I think we sell them now for $1,000. So, works out pretty good.
Were you buried?
Well, you know, at least we've got them back in our hands, and they won't go to waste. People are still using the Mount Vernon Cemetery.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, we are still selling plots in there. Kayla, I'm going to let you talk about the next two. It is 26 Mile and M53 trees. Since you were instrumental in getting all that going, you can update everybody on that, please.
Sure. So we have 2 projects that are outstanding with Green Macomb, which is a program run out of Macomb County government. The Planning and Economic Development and Parks and Rec departments head this up together. One of them is for 15 trees in the 26 Mile Road median in front of the Stony Creek entrance. Those are strictly kind of beautification focused in that median. They're starting with that first spot with the intent to move east towards the roundabout on 26 Mile. So this is kind of a test run. Washington Township is leading the way a little bit in these Green Macomb plantings in road right-of-way. So this is different. It's taking a lot of approvals and a lot of different running around getting permits and things figured out with Department of Roads. And then for the other one, which is on M53, we're actually working with MDOT. So that one is 100 trees planted on the east and west sides of M53.
How many trees?
100. Just north of 26 Mile Road. And part of the intent there is to actually shield residents from some of the traffic noise impacts of M53.
Who plants?
Who
plants the trees?
DPW.
Our people?
Yes.
I bet they're
So
thrilled.
Rich is thrilled, yeah. We will have some volunteers, so if you're interested in volunteering for the planting on M53, please reach out to Clerk Brown. I know she's been trying to get volunteers ready. It's possible the date on that may shift because MDOT approvals, it's just a process. But they have been supportive of the project. It's just getting all the final agreements figured out, so.
Way to go.
Yeah, but that one will be exciting, and that's partially in response to the traffic incident that occurred off M53.
Sure.
It's been over a year now, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So those residents will be immediately impacted with tree plantings
Yeah.
along their rear property line.
Well, we got some kind of a great result out of a near tragedy.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no one was injured.
Yeah, and all kudos to Clerk Brown for heading that up, and the township for being so supportive of everything. So.
All right.
And Kayla, she did some work there too.
We have ordinance discussion.
Hold on, a couple more things.
All right, John.
It's been a busy month.
Long meeting.
Yeah, let's see, we got the tree planting, WBRW, the board voted to extend their current contract for 1 more year while we still have the cable commission or cable committee discussing any changes they might want to make with that structure. So we're getting closer to getting some things done with that, but it will be the status quo with them for the next year. And this last one, this is going to be fun. The board had requested that the planning commission, that's us, review the future land use designation for the 31 to 32 Van Dyke Expressway to Powell Road area again. They want to relook at the zoning in that area where Washington Creek was just here for. The previous board had decided that, it should be split up. And I think that, Sam has always had an eye towards the industrial corridor over there and creating industrial. So they want us to take another stab at that zoning.
Future land use.
Future land use. Thank you for correcting me. At that future land use map and see what we come up with some discussion over that.
Sure. Hey, let's hope that development up there on 31, kind of jump starts some of the industrial commercial along Powell Road. I mean, it's been a long time coming, but, something's going to finally happen.
Yeah, but it won't connect with that. That's miles.
No, that's
south.
true.
That's a whole mile south of what we're talking about. You're
Right.
talking about between 31 and 32.
Right.
the area we just approved a ton of residential in. So,
That's why it's a discussion in future land use.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Not zoning, future
Sounds
land
good.
use.
future land use. yeah.
Yep. So we'll bring some content forward at the next planning commission meeting, but it is a reopening of your master plan, so there's all sorts of noticing, public hearings, things that happen related to that, so it'll be a lengthy process.
Okay.
Okay,
And the only other thing is, in this, can't say much about this one, we did have a closed session. Biocor Development, the rezoning over on Mound that we denied has filed suit, so as soon as.
oh,
that
Mound
is-
by Crystal Creek, John?
Yeah, and again, that's in process, so we can't say much about it, but just to let everybody know that that's in process. That's all I got.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you,
Busy week at the
Thank you,
board.
Hiram. Okay, Kayla, commission discussion on ordinance text amendment discussion, landscaping standards.
Boy, I
Yes,
can't wait for this.
It's very late, so I'm thinking we'll just do very, very abridged version unless anyone has any questions. But these landscaping ordinance amendments are for discussion only. We're not even going to bring it forward for public hearing until we also do the PUD and land division standards, but we didn't want to overwhelm you by bringing, 3 chapters all at once to review. So, did anyone have any immediate questions on what we presented for potential landscape ordinance amendments?
I don't.
I thought it was done very well.
You okay, commissioners?
Together well.
Yeah,
So it addresses a lot of the questions that have come up, and one of the biggest things is breaking out. So we set our definition of open space when we did the miscellaneous ordinance amendments. This refers back to that definition. It also adds a definition for shared active recreation amenities and shared passive recreation amenities geared toward the multifamily side, because developments were coming in and it was a really blurry line on what they were providing to serve residents on those sites. So straightened out some of those things, and then there was a lot of conflict with some of the green belt and screening requirements, especially if you had a site that was being developed in a certain district and they had green belt requirements, but then they had use standards that had a whole nother set of green belt requirements. So cleaning up that language, making sure those don't conflict as much. And then the last thing I wanted to highlight is that we updated our tree species list to be in line with some Macomb and Michigan Department of Natural Resource, right tree, right place guidance. And so all of those things have been done. Feel free to reach out with any questions on this, and we can discuss it further at the next meeting.
okay.
Perfect.
Just a quick question, the utility-friendly trees, I got real excited when I saw that, but they're more geared towards overhead lines and not really underground lines, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
But there
They
is
still
some.
seem like smaller shrub trees, kind of. like
And
dogwood.
slower
I don't
growing.
picture as like a real massively big tree, it's more like a big plant, kind of, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And there's some language in there, like if the parties that have jurisdiction, like let's say we're requiring street trees, but it's in the ITC corridor, or it's along Macomb County Department of Roads right away, there's some language there that allows the developer to work with those entities on an agreement rather than what we had before, which is like you have to space them out a certain amount and they have to be linear. This would allow for some clustering to avoid those areas and potentially move trees to a different location on the site if need be.
Which is kind of what we did with Vernon Grove and Clifton Farms, which I
Yep.
think was a good solution.
Yep, so just making it more flexible so they're not coming for variances all the time or requesting that you waive those requirements.
Okay. All right, commissioners. Number 12, it's Sir Peter's favorite.
So I'm a little disappointed that we didn't go into the landscape ordinance in more detail, but it's okay.
Motion to go into it in great
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
Okay, good. I have a second.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Good job.
Commissioner
folks.
Thomas,
Good job.
my daughter's in bed, so